Yo, what's up, everyone? This video, we're going to look at the Sunday night showdown picks between the Steelers and the Patriots. This rivalry got even more intense with Antonio Brown heading over to New England. He's not going to be able to play in this one, but moving forward, the Patriots are going to be so much fun to watch offensively with Tom Brady throwing to Brown, Gordon, Edelman, and even Demaryius Thomas. If Gronk didn't retire, this offense would be insane. But it's already looking super scary and a nightmare for opposing defenses. But let's get into the picks. You can drop a like and subscribe down below. And if you want to join us, you can visit the website. Links in description. On this slate, Steelers are heading into New England. Although the Steelers are on the road, it's interesting that the top three highest priced players are all Steelers with Juju, Connor, and Roethlisberger before you get to a Patriot in Tom Brady. But I think that's mainly due to the fact that the Steelers don't have as many weapons as they did in the years past. Those three are going to get a lot of the fantasy goodness this year. A lot of the fantasy points are going to come from that trio. Although I think James Washington at 5,000 is going to make a very, very good play on this slate. And going forward, I think he's going to have a solid year based on his preseason. And just based on the opportunity that's there with no Antonio Brown. Just going to do the same thing I did in my other showdown video. Just going to go through the picks, go through the players, and then go look at some lineups that I like at the end. Juju's going to get a lot of love from Ben Roethlisberger this season. He's going to get so much more targets. He was already getting a ton of targets last season, even with Brown. The only little concern I have is that the Patriots do like to take away the best weapon of the opposing team. That's what Bill Belichick has done that for years. So that could take away from Smith if Schuster, if he's going to get double or triple teamed. But he's still going to get a lot of targets. I see no reason how he doesn't get 10 targets at least in this one. I'm not that interested in James Conner. I think if I had to pick between him or Juju, I would go with Juju just because I feel like he has a higher ceiling. I think this game is going to be a kind of a shootout, so I'm expecting both quarterbacks to have big games here. Not that both running backs can have good games, but just not really feeling it with the price tag on James Conner on the road here in New England. I like Ben Roethlisberger. He's expensive. He's not super expensive, but he's never been great on the road. He's always been a much better quarterback at home in Pittsburgh. But I think that in this one, he's going to have to throw the ball a lot, and that's going to open up opportunities for him to get touchdowns and throw over 300 yards. Last season, he had a bunch of games where he threw over 300. Had a couple games where he threw over 450 yards, which is incredible. Just a ton of passing attempts. Last season, the Steelers love to throw the ball, and Roethlisberger is gonna benefit from that pass-heavy attack. Now we get into a Patriot here in Tom Brady. He's going to be, even though he's getting older, he's still looking unstoppable as long as he has some players around him. And even without weapons last season, he was great. Well, not great, but he was solid. I mean, he won the Super Bowl. You can't say he was bad. But now this year, with all the weapons that he has, it's going to look great. It's going to be a great season for Brady, I think. And this one against the Steelers at 10-2 at home. A lot to like here. The Steelers, they're a decent defense, but Brady, talking about the GOAT of NFL quarterbacks, he's going to get his, especially with Julian Edelman to throw to still, and Josh Gordon, and you still have James White out of the backfield. Just still get an endless amount of weapons for Tom Brady. I like Edelman. He's going to get peppered with targets, at least until Antonio Brown makes his debut. Just a really good play. Tom Brady loves to throw his way, and playing out of the slot, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage there. I'm not super interested in Sony Michel at 8,000. Just rather go to James White, who I think has as much upside, if not more upside, at a much cheaper price tag. Just because White plays a huge role in the passing game. Unlike Sony Michel, maybe that will change, but I don't see that changing with James White on the roster, and they've even said that he's going to be the guy in passing situations. Josh Gordon, I like him. If he lines up opposite of, lines up in the starting spot first week, he's going to get some more targets than he would going forward just because Antonio Brown's not there. But we're talking about a guy in Josh Gordon who, if he wants to, he has the talent to be the best, like a top 5 receiver, but he's always getting himself in trouble. Maybe he can finally stay clear of all that and just focus on football. But at 7,400, I like the price tag a lot. not that interested in Dante Moncrief, or rather go to James Washington, who's much cheaper than him. I feel like Washington has more upside than Moncrief does. Don't have a ton of interest in McDonald either. Just pretty expensive at $6,000, considering that he's not going to be like a tight end that plays the entire game. They said that he's not going to. They already said that he's not going to play the whole game just because he's not that good at blocking. He's not a very good blocking tight end, so he could have a decent game in the air, but I think most of the time he's going to get single digits and fantasy points. And then we get to guys like James Washington, who's going to be my favorite value play. He was really good in the preseason, had 405.78, 405.84. Without Antonio Brown, he's going to be the guy that needs to step up, and he can. Just a matter of if he can get that chemistry with Ben Roethlisberger. And if the Patriots do manage to contain Juju, if they do focus on him, which I do expect them to, and that's what Belichick has done his entire career, then Washington should have an opportunity to have a big game. He's only $5,000. Demaryius Thomas, if he's active, I like him. If we know he's going to play and not be limited, I'll be all over him at that $4,600 price tag. It's really cheap. He capped off the preseason with a huge game, 2 touchdowns. So as long as he's in and we know that he's not going to be limited, I'll definitely have some interest in him at that price tag. And then we get into some kickers. I think both kickers are in play. I'm not that interested in either defense, although I would like the Patriots' defense more than the Steelers just because Roethlisberger does throw more interceptions and he's been known to not be as good on the road. But both kickers, I think, are in play, and that's kind of it. I'm not really interested in anybody else. So just going to kind of focus in on 10 guys that I really like. So we'll look at 3 lineups. We'll look at one with Juju at captain, one with James Washington at captain, and one with Julian Edelman at captain. We start off with Juju, who's going to take up a lot of the salary at $16,500 at captain. You're going to have to get both kickers in there. Well, at least one kicker. I got both kickers in Boswell and Gostkowski, just because I am going to pay up for some other guys and Ben Roethlisberger, do a Roethlisberger Juju stack. You have $8,100 left, and then you can go with like James White. I like that price tag on White a lot. He's going to be one of my favorite plays in this game, especially from the Patriots side. And then $9,700, you get Julian Edelman. So even though you get 2 kickers, you get a ton of upside with your other spots in Edelman, Roethlisberger, White, and Juju. And then we can do one with James Washington at captain. This opens up a lot of salary. You can go him. You can still go with Edelman from the Patriots at 96. You can go with Roethlisberger at 10.6. You can go with Juju at 11. And then you can still go with James White. And you can go with Demaryius Thomas if he's active. If Thomas is not in, then I would probably go up to Josh Gordon. And then I would go down from Edelman, go down to, let's see what we can do. I'll probably have to go down from Roethlisberger, or go down from Juju to still play Edelman. And then you have $8,300 left. You could take a chance on Sony Michel if you wanted to. But if Demaryius Thomas is in, then I'll kind of go with that first build, just because I am definitely more confident in that lineup than going with this one. And then last but not least, if you go with Edelman at captain, at 14.4, you can go with Tom Brady, pair with Edelman. You can get both quarterbacks here. Even go with Roethlisberger. Then you can pair Roethlisberger with Washington, so you get a quarterback wide receiver stack. I'm still going to be over James White at 66, and then at 3,200, you can fill it in with a kicker and Chris Boswell. So this one also looks really appealing. You get both quarterbacks. You get 2 solid wide receiver options, and you get a kicker and James White, who has as much upside as anybody does. But that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. You can let me know who your favorite play is in the comments below, and you can check out the website, links in description. Thanks for watching, and good luck.